Ult someone that... Hang on a second, really? Oh, okay. Lysandra instead. Lysandra instead. Okay. Over towards the left. I think Ogwo is enjoying its last day on stage, which probably should have gone for a lot longer in the Korean scene, but military service cut them short. I do wonder whether there should have been an exception for, you know, important cultural exports, effectively. I do wonder, but whatever. It's their rules. And I know there is a stigma about Kai'Sa manages to avoid a little bit of the matchup versus the Caitlyn, which is the big thing. Grub's now started by BFX. If they can deny that from the Caitlyn team, that's big. Oh, Diablo has cleanse. Has to use it early, half HP down. That being said, I think second Grub should be coming down shortly from BFX. Beryl being engaged onto Victor using the ult. Not getting much value out of it, though. No hop over the pit. 3 Grubs to BFX. DK getting none of it. Showmaker instead pushing down bot side. Does he get a 4th place? Angling towards Shiwu. Showmaker doesn't have teleports. He won't be there in time. Kai'Sa's coming over. This should be a pretty successful dive. They'll have the numbers. This is a question of how much Shiwu can do in terms of wave clear and CC. Psyonot's coming out. There is a flash from Shiwu. Diablo has to flash in. Shiwu flashing under the turret. That is the 4 people needed to bring him down. Took a couple more ults and roams than they would have liked, I suppose. They do cheap stat stick. Crazy amounts of stats. Aiming takes that turret down there. First turret of the game. The thralls. Yeah, and I know there's wave clear values for Collector Q Max. Hang on a second. That's ult into mid lane. Clone blocks the Scion ult, which helps a bit. Charm, where's that coming out? Beryl does have flash. Chooses to use it late. Uses it late. Ult onto over the wall onto Lucid. He does have the Crescent Guard jumping onto Vikler. Doesn't have the flash anymore. Good pick off by BFX. Beryl flashing late. Lucid. Disrespectful. Bad things for mid lane waves I have done. Herald goes over to BFX. Good fight for them. They get themselves the kill. Wonder where that leaves them now, actually. Can BFX take a slight gold lead here with arguably a better comp and actually roll into a better fight than the last time? Shiwu getting chased off by Clear. And Clear does have... Hang on. Clear does have ult in 10. If he keeps Shiwu around long enough, could actually threaten him, you know? Raptor flying on to Lucid. Props to Crescent Guard. Not a great ult from Beryl there. Beryl might die for the defense, but what do they get in return? Rel goes down. Sion ulting into the play. Showmaker not able to make much of a difference. And aiming has no summoners. Does take a lot of HP off of Diablo, and Showmaker will finish that off. But Showmaker, I'm sorry, friend. That is a one-way trip. Ultimate onto himself. Teleport coming in from Jack. Shiwu has the ultimate, and maybe DK just think we can brawl. Of course they can. They're Dplus KIA. Shiwu will teleport in, saving Showmaker's life. Ends up being, what, 3 for... And again, Showmaker having to go in, use the flash. It's a pretty hefty price for him. I say pretty... Yeah, I mean, flash Lysandra is kind of important. Herald summoned up in mid lane. I'm trying to get as much CC onto it as possible. We'll charge in now. Delayed a little bit. Dragon taken by DK.
BFX 这个阵容是个倒 U，DK 是个 U， 就只要挺过中期，这 DK 又开始走高。哇，但是就是你看这段时间你们这个赛事总比女警持强，那倒是。现在要等到女警的大穿哦。
Hang on a second, big fight potentially happening on the top side. Teleport's coming in. Ult's coming through. Beryl gets some CC. Here comes the Rel as well. How much can Diablo do over the wall? He's caught out by Lucid, but he has enough HP, and I think he'll just about outplay. Massive fight for BNK FEARX as DK cannot back up that engage, and they get caught out. How many dead? Is that 3 total? Yeah, 3 for none.
而且说了，这段时间是需要沉淀的时间。艾米被减速到了，艾米要倒在2塔了，而且扛塔的克林并没有被换掉。
Caitlyn dying as well, as I replied to a text from my mother. I try not to leave them too long. That's gone started by this combo. Can they somehow get themselves the big objective? That's the big thing. Ooh, good damage there. Jesus! Aiming flying over the wall, and this is the problem with Caitlyn into the Vi. Flashes away, Diablo flashing forwards, and the Caitlyn's down. That is the problem with the pick. Lucid, good damage onto Diablo now. Kellen's side as well. Have they gone too deep? Lucid getting some damage denied by that Crescent Guard. Showmaker going on to Vikler. Has used his ult, actually, just as we were talking about it. BFX doing a pretty good job in the fight, taking down 3 for 1. Not a bad slap back by Lucid, trying to damage out Diablo, but they just don't have the damage anymore. Aiming, getting too close to Vi, and I say that as though it's like something you can control. Yes, 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 there are many arcane comments to be made about Vi and Caitlyn. Yes, I see them. Don't you worry. I hecking love arcane. Ugh, what a show. Showmaker caught on the side lane. Vi's coming up. He does have an ult to avoid summon or other. I don't think it's going to matter too much. W for a little bit of damage. In the 1v2, not bad actually with the Sulfur. And now they're going for a fight while the mid jungle is distracted on top side. It's not going to matter too much though. I don't think they have enough damage. Diablo just putting down the hurt. 3 kills as they try and look for a split fight. Can't manage it. And that ends up being a 4 for none across the map. It's pretty cookie cutter, right? You know, the Caitlyn gets dove onto by the Vi. The Kai'Sa follows. The Ahri follows. The Rel can start the engage too if you need to. You have jungle support starting the plays and then the carries following. It's pretty easy. Everyone can dive forwards. Makes it a very coherent draft. This has not been a close game. DK are not going to be able to get towards the dragon at all. She was doing some good damage. Hang on a second. Gets flapped over the shoulder. He'll go down after overextending in that bot side. Tried to pick up some gold from the side lane. You know, poor dragons. Endangered species, I'd imagine. Hunted. It's not like Jax is there either. So they buy into a 3v3, which they lose. I suppose this is what to expect when they're flaming Ahri's build. Look, I'm just saying. Look, Victor is 405. The build has not led to this point. Objective value on top side for Dplus KIA. The Terminus third, so he gets the better AD carry DPS of the on-hits. Baron down to half HP. Charm across the side. Shu, I think he's not long for this world, and neither is the other side of the fight. Though that being said, Raptor's quite low. Manages to escape. Shu can't take him down, and now the fight starts again. Great flank angle from Victor, who gets the Charm over the wall, and the Q to follow as well. Showmaker, I think all this is a glacial prison for your whole team, mate. Put a tombstone on top of it. R.I.P. DK losing out almost their entire team. Just Lucid left alive. 4 for none. Creative angles. That's one of the most important skill sets in the R. Use the extra resets to get the extra mobility to get into a different position. Lucid's caught out in the enemy jungle. This game has fallen apart a long time ago for Dplus KIA. Dplus KIA, of course, only lost game. Pushing into the base now, BFX, of course, having the last of that Baron buff, trying to break open one of these lanes. Having the 3 grubs helps with that too. Sion pushing bot side, he can ult up towards the top side of the map as and when he wants to. Diablo, of course, can fly across the map with the rank 3 Kai'Sa ultimate now, being level 17, which is really, really important, actually, because it means that when you're pushing into all these inhibitor turrets, you can basically fly from the bot lane inhibitor turret to the top lane one with the extended range. Charm! Great angle from Vikla. Extra engage coming through afterwards. Why not? Beryl dies after popping the Blossom. Finds nothing there. Showmaker uses his ultimate, but again, it's just feeling a little bit more like a funeral for himself. Shiru trying to clean something up, flashing past the Q of the Sion, and it just won't matter. Clean game from BFX. They had the better combo. They used it well. Dplus KIA needed to win early, couldn't quite manage it. Claire flashes forwards jubilantly. With a flash and some flair. BNK FEARX will even up the series in this best of 5 1-1. It's now a glorified best of 3.
DK